What's up, boys? We got UFC 314 this weekend. We're going to start it off in the prelims, early prelims. We got Nora Cornhole versus Haley Cowan. Listen, Haley Cowan has a bunch of different injuries. She's kind of a problem. You know, both of these ladies are coming off of a loss. This is really nothing to really break down. Do we really need to sit here and break this down? We're going to go with the Frenchie. We're going to go with Nora Cornhole. Nothing to do with her last name. Whatever. Moving on, we got my boy Trayshawn Gore versus Marcio Tulio. Listen, I've been seeing a lot of you guys keep talking shit about Trayshawn Gore. Trayshawn Gore is my homie. He looks like this dude I know named Loose Cannon. If anybody knows in the comments who Loose Cannon is, this is Loose Cannon. This is the homie Loose Cannon. We're gonna go with Trayshawn Gore. Listen, the Marcio Tulio only has one fight in the UFC. Yes, he knocked him out, but who the fuck is this guy? I've never seen this dude ever in my life. 20-8, for sure. Definitely. More than likely, a can. Now, Trayshawn Gore, his only two losses are to Brian Battle, who's a fucking animal, and he took him to a 15-minute decision, and Cody Brundage, who, yes, he did get knocked out in the first round against Cody Brundage, but those are two top-level opponents. Okay? We just saw what Cody Brundage did a few weeks ago, right? So, his only two losses are to Brian Battle and Cody Brundage. Submitted some guy named Firmo, and then submitted another guy named Trockley. Trayshawn Gore got this. Don't even worry about it. 2 wins by knockout, 3 wins by submission, 3 first-round finishes. We're going with Trayshawn Gore. Let's go, boys. Moving up. Suda Majudi versus Mitch Rapostio. So, both of these dudes are coming off of losses. But if there's one standout thing to you that you should be like, wow, I'm going to bet on this guy, it's one person only has one name. You know, this guy doesn't have a last name, or is this his first name, or is this his last? I don't know, but if you see somebody with that name, it gives them hella aura. You know, he doesn't have a last name, it's just one name. Sudamajeri, listen, I don't even need to look at Mitch Rapazzo's record. Both of you boys are coming off of losses. I'm going to go with Sudamajeri. You know, he's super taller, 3 inches taller. He's going to have a super big reach advantage. Dude has a crazy reach advantage, 72-inch reach to 64, almost a 10-inch reach advantage, or a foot. I can't do math, bro. It's 10-inch reach advantage, 8-inch reach. Give me a break. Give me a break. This is at 125 pounds, okay? This is going to be a definite squabble fest, but we're going to go with Sudamajari. Mitch did beat Andre Lima, but come on. This guy has one name. We're going to go with Sudamajari. Moving up, this fight, I'm honestly really excited for. So, a lot of you guys probably don't know who Cedric Dumas is. And a lot of you guys probably know who Michael Ola, whatever, bro. You know what I mean? Whatever this guy's name is. He fought Chara Bullet. He did get submitted against Kevin Holland, but he did drop Kevin Holland. Yes, he got submitted by Michelle Pereira. This guy's on a 3-fight losing streak. Okay? Now let me tell you guys about my boy Cedric Dumas. Listen, Cedric Dumas is an animal. I don't know if you guys know who No Jumper is or what No Jumper is, but this guy, Cedric Dumas, was lining up a fade. I mean, this isn't, it's not going to sound unbelievable to most of you guys, but this guy was going to fight a dude named 4 Extras, who is like a rolling 40s crip, you know what I mean? And allegedly this dude, 4 Extras, ran 10 fades back to back in jail, and Cedric Dumas wanted to run the fade. He said that he could beat him up, and the fight never materialized because 4 Extras went to jail, but they're trying to line the fight up, and he said that he was going to fight 4 Extras right before this fight card, and it didn't line up. We're going to go with Cedric Dumas. Listen, he was talking spicy. I know none of you guys know what I'm talking about, but he was talking spicy to 4 Extras, and if you have that kind of confidence in you, I'm going to have that confidence in you too. You know, you're ready to squabble. Now, don't get it messed up, right? Because Michelle Alekzuciak has a chin. This dude has a chin. He can eat things, okay? Cedric Dumas, I'm going to need you to take this dude down. Let's just submit him. Let's not even try to sit here and feed the beast and punch him in the face a few times. Let's just make this an easy night out, get an easy paycheck, and submit this dude, okay? We're going with Cedric Dumas, probably by a submission. I don't think Michelle Usyk, whatever, is capable of being slept. I know he has in the past, but I don't think it's possible anymore. Moving on, boys. We're on the main card, right? Oh, no. Still on the early prelims. Anyways, we got Darren Elkins versus Julian Erosa. So, Darren Elkins is sort of kind of like, I mean, he doesn't look like it, right? He looks like a 55-year-old man, right? But allegedly, this dude's on the come up, you know what I mean? This dude's on the come up. Doesn't look like it, though. Fighting everybody in the world. He's a vet. But he's on the come up, and the only reason I say this is because they have him fighting Julian Erosa, who's, the prospect killer. The reason I call Julian Erosa the prospect killer, he did beat up a bunch of prospects that were like supposed to be that guy and all that stuff. But this dude, Julian Erosa, beat Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson's on this card a little bit later. I hold Sean Woodson in super, super high regard. I think Sean Woodson's top 5 in that weight class. You know what I mean? But I'm going to sit here and give Julian Erosa to Dubsky just off of that. This is going to be an old man squabble. This fight's more than likely probably not even going to be that interesting. Watch this be fight of the night. I think Cedric Dumas versus Michelle whatever is going to more than likely get a performance bonus or something, but this is more than likely just going to be an old head fight. Both of these dudes are pretty old. They've been in there for a long time, but we're going to give that to Julian Erosa. He's been taking people out of here. Moving on, boy, I am extremely excited for this fight. Jim Miller, the OG, versus Chase Hooper. Now, Chase Hooper's a prospect, obviously, you know what I mean? If you didn't know, now you know. But I thought that Chase Hooper only had like maybe 5 fights in the UFC. This dude's page just keeps fucking going. He's been in here since like 280, since 2019. I had no idea. I mean, I guess I'm a casual. I mean, I've only started hearing about Chase Hooper since like 2021, 2022. You know what I mean? But anyways, Chase Hooper is that boy. Submission king. He's kind of in there. He's taking shit out. Took my boy Borishkov out of here. Borishkov's an animal. He's an animal. Took Clay Guda out of here. Shout out to Clay Guda. You're a vet. You're a vet. It just has all the just all the makings of Chase Hooper taking down another veteran. I don't understand why they're just letting Chase Hooper just whoop veterans' ass back to back to back to back. You know what I mean? We're going to give you Clay Guda, and now we're going to give you Jim Miller. Maybe somebody under 39 for Chase Hooper next time we fight, okay? We're going to go with Chase Hooper off the submission. Don't get it confused, boys. Jim Miller is that boy. He is that boy. He is an animal. I mean, how tough you have to be to have 38 wins and 18 losses. He's been in the UFC for a very, very, very long time. You know what I mean? He's not scared to show out. So, but we're going to go with Chase Hooper. It does look like he's 19, doesn't it? Chase Hooper. Looks like my boy's 19. Moving on. Probably the most entertaining women's fight, like on the bracket coming up. You know what I mean? Jan whatever versus Verna whatever. Jan is an animal. She sat here and fought Zhang Weili, who is, in my opinion, one of the best women fighters I've personally ever seen. She's an animal. She's basically a man, if we have to be for real. Took Wang Li to a 25-minute decision. She did get her ass beat. It was unanimous, but you did it. You did your thing. She knocked out Andrade, Jessica Andrade, right? That's Jessica Andrade, right? I'm learning these women fighters. Hey, let's go, boys. She's on a win streak of 1, because, Wei Li whooped that ass. Verna is good on the ground. Jan is kind of just good everywhere, I'm going to go with Jan. These Chinese women fighters are just kind of a different breed. They're very tough. They're very savage, but just don't get it confused. Verna will submit shit. Verna will submit shit. I mean, you see the Brazilian flag right next to her name. But we're going to go with Jan, number 1 ranked women's fighter. If she wins it, she's Weili's probably going to move up or whatever Weili's going to do. I don't really know the makings of the drama of the women's fighters. I'm a man, MMA fan, whatever. But I think Jan's more likely going to fight for the vacant women's belt next if she wins. Moving up, boys, I am extremely excited for this fight. Sean Woodson versus Dan Ige. Listen, off the bat, not off the back. Shout out to 4 Extras, but off the bat, we are going with Sean Woodson. We're going with Sean Woodson. Did you guys know that Sean Woodson, this guy right here on the right, used to be a heavyweight? Now he fights at featherweight. He used to be a heavyweight boxer. That's kind of all you need to know. Yes, Sean Woodson did get submitted by that dude I was showing you guys earlier. But Sean Woodson's 1, 2, 3, 4 had a draw, which is like how many draws do you see in the UFC? And then he just keeps winning. And then obviously the submission by Julian Erosa. And then he just keeps winning. We're going to go with Sean Woodson. He's that boy. He's super big, super tall. Dan Ige, listen, I understand you took that fight on 2 hours short notice against Diego Lopez, and yeah, you did fight Lerone Murphy for 15 minutes, but Lerone Murphy's a point fighter, bro. Like, come on now. Like, you're not really, I mean, I'm going to give you points and props and all that stuff, especially for that Lopez fight, which was extremely close. And he did take that on 2 hours short notice. But Sean Woodson's just kind of a different animal. He's very rangy. He's going to back up. He's going to Lerone Murphy, Dan Ige. Dan Ige already got Lerone Murphy once. What's the point of getting Lerone Murphy twice? Well, I'm just gonna back up and let you do your thing, and I'm gonna keep you at range and just punch you, and you can't punch me. Sean Woodson, more than likely decision, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it's a KO TKO. Moving on, boys. Dominic Reyes versus Nikita Krylov. Now, Nikita Krylov's name I've been hearing for as long as I can remember. This dude has been around for a really long time. Yes, he did submit Ryan Spann last month, right? Like, oh no, this is 2023. So he's coming off a super big layoff. He did KO Gustafson in the first round, but it's old Gustafson. It's old Gustafson. Yes, he got submitted by Paul Craig. Who the fuck doesn't get submitted by Paul Craig? And he did get beat by Ankalaev. This guy, Nikita Krylov, has fought basically everybody in the division, Dominic Reyes, though, I think is going to have the edge over Nikita Krylov. Yes, he did go on that weird losing streak after he beat John Jones, but then got robbed via decision, So then he just kind of lost every single squabble since then, right? He lost the Jan squabble. He lost the Prohaska squabble. He got fucking knocked out by Ryan Spann, But then he's back. He knocks out Justin Jacoby, and he knocks out a grieving Anthony Smith, which was not right, but you got to get your bread. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your money. We're going to go with Dominic Reyes. I think this is the career resurgence for him. Light heavyweight is kind of like up in the air with Alex more likely going to move up to heavyweight if he loses this fight with Ankalaev. I think this is the Dominic Reyes career resurgence that we've been looking for. Shout out to the Baja Blast. You know what I mean? Normally I cut that out, but I'm not going to cut that out. So we got Yair Rodriguez versus Patricio Pitbull. You would think that they would put an image for Patricio Pitbull after they spent a gang of money signing this dude to the UFC, but don't get it fucked up. Patricio Pitbull is that boy. You know what I mean? Patricio Pitbull has 12 KOs and 12 submissions under his belt. He's from Bellator. He's a 2-division weight champion. Oh, hold on. Yeah, he's a 2-division champion from Bellator. Got 2 belts, 12 KOs, 12 submissions. He's kind of just all over the place. But I want you guys to keep in mind what happened the last time the UFC signed somebody. It was Kaya Sakura. Okay? And Kaya Sakura was dog shit. He was dog shit in that fight against Pantoja. He did not need to be there. Now, yes, Yair Rodriguez is not Pantoja. Not even close. Yair, though, is extremely dangerous. He will throw jumping knees. He will throw spinning heel kicks. Like, that's a dangerous dude, Yair Rodriguez. But Pitbull has the power in his hands, and he's not scared to take things to the ground. And I think that he has the fight IQ that if it's not working out on the feet, he's going to take Yair Rodriguez to the ground and submit him. We're going to go with Patricio Pitbull, and Patricio Pitbull has the fire under his belly because he knows if he wins this fight, he's more than likely going to jump the line against Mozahar, or he's probably going to end up fighting Mozahar if Mozahar isn't fighting that kid that we signed. I got to make a video on that. Apparently we signed a kid and he's going to fight Mozahar. I got to make a video on that. Moving up, we're going to go Patricio Pitbull pretty much by whatever he wants. Yair is Yair. Moving up, boys. Hey, this is my main event. This is literally my main event. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. You could probably skip 10 minutes further into this video and I will still be talking about Bryce Mitchell and Gene Silva. Let's go, boys. So, Gene Silva, okay, evil. Bryce Mitchell, good. That's kind of the breakdown of this fight. Bryce Mitchell's a God-fearing, God-loving man, a dude who likes to does his thing, you know what I'm saying? And Gene Silva's just a barking maniac with, like, fits of rage, and Bryce Mitchell's going to sit here and take that out of here. But if we're being for real, if we're being serious, Gene Silva has really been antagonizing my boy Bryce Mitchell non-stop. If you go on Gene Silva's Twitter right now, he's dropping screenshots of his DMs with Bryce Mitchell, and he's spam video calling Bryce Mitchell on Instagram. Like, bro, if I'm about to squabble you out and you're doing that to me, I mean, yeah, you're gonna get in my head, but I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna try my best. I mean, I'm gonna try my best anyways, but now I'm really gonna be angry. You know what I mean? And Gene Silva has not really fought anybody. Anybody. Say he fought Drew Dober. Come on, please. I want somebody to comment. E-Rock. He fought Drew Dober. Look what happened to Drew Dober 2 weekends ago. Bro got knocked out in the first 10 seconds of the fight. Yes, he did beat Charles Jourdain. Sure. Who hasn't beat Charles Jourdain? I understand that's a tough fight, but dude's not ranked for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? Charles Jourdain is not ranked for a reason. Yes, he's tough. I understand. But if you look at Bryce Mitchell only has 3 losses. 2 of those losses, one seizure-induced loss, was from Josh Emmett. Another loss is from the champion who just moved up to 155, who Islam doesn't even want to fight, Ilia Topuria. Yes, my boy's coming off of a win from Kron Gracie, and he knocked Kron Gracie out. Don't worry about it. Yes, the seizure-inducing loss against fucking Josh Emmett. Yes, my boy beat the dog shit out of Dan Ige. Okay? Bryce Mitchell, the level of people that Bryce Mitchell has fought and consistently has fought over the years does not even come close to the bums and cans that Gene Silva has fought. Like, who has Gene Silva fought? If we're being real. Nobody. Literally nobody. Bryce Mitchell has fought Edson Barbosa. Sat here and fought Ilia Topuria. You know what I mean? He took Edson Barbosa to a 15-minute unanimous decision. Same with Andre Fili. Bryce Mitchell's not scared to get in there and get dirty. I really do think that Bryce Mitchell is going to let Gene Silva come out there, overextend. You know, Gene Silva's going to be excited. He's going to be emotional. He's a very emotional guy. If you're watching the Embedded, he keeps talking about how he's going to cry. How he's crying and he's crying. And his teammates talk about that. He cries a lot, which is like, you know, I get it, bro. Like, I understand. You know, life's very emotional. But Bryce Mitchell is going to punch you so hard that you are going to cry for weeks. You know what I'm saying? I think that Bryce Mitchell is going to submit this dude. I think Gene Silva is going to come out as an autistic animal, and he's going to try to overextend and just swing for the fences because he just keeps rewatching the Josh Emmett clip of Josh Emmett sleeping Bryce Mitchell. He's going to keep rewatching it, and he's going to say, okay, I go out there, I swing, I knock him out. And that's not going to happen. I think as soon as you throw that right hand, you're overextend with that right hand, Bryce Mitchell's going to hit that double leg, take you down, submit you. Arm, triangle choke. That's what we're going to go with. Arm, head, triangle choke. If I had to pick a submission that I want to see done to Gene Silva, arm, head, triangle choke from my boy Bryce Mitchell. From my boy Bryce Mitchell. And then you will be able to exercise the demons from Gene Silva. I am so excited for this press conference. That press conference better be 2 hours long. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. I've made like at least 3 videos on Gene Silva versus Bryce Mitchell already. Already. Moving on, boys. We're going Gene Silva submission. I mean, we're going Bryce Mitchell submission. Gene Silva is not winning. Do not take that advice. Do not take that advice. We are going Bryce Mitchell. Gene Silva is barking up the wrong fucking tree. Moving on, boys. Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler. We're going to go with Michael Chandler. We're going to go with Michael Chandler. I understand this is going to be like a little weird for you guys. You guys aren't really going to understand. But who the fuck has Paddy fought? I understand I keep saying this. Paddy's last 2 fights. Washed up Bobby Green, who's more than likely never going to fight again in the sport because of Marcio Ruffy spitting heel kicking him. And Tony Ferguson, who he took 15 minutes to beat a GFL fighter. Tony Ferguson's in the GFL. He's in the GFL. It took you 15 minutes to beat somebody in the GFL. Now, you guys have a common opponent, Paddy Pimblett and Michael Chandler, which is Tony Ferguson. And what's weird is Michael Chandler had knockout of the year against Tony Ferguson in round 2. Kicked him right in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just compare the last 3 fights of Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Charles Oliveira, who he fought for 25 minutes, and Tony Ferguson. So if you just take these last 2 fights, Paddy Pimblett does not even come close to winning any of these fights. If you put Paddy Pimblett in the cage with Charles Oliveira for 25 minutes, Patty Pillen will probably be able to be there for like a minute and 35 seconds, if we're being 1,000% honest. And this was Michael Chandler coming off of a what 2-year hiatus because he's waiting for Connor. That doesn't mean he's not training. He's just not in the octagon. He's not like ready to hear the crowd and oh I'm going to the corner. I don't really remember what happened last round. Like he's just not his mind isn't primed and ready to be in there, you know. But he's making a little bit better turnaround from that Charles Oliveira fight. And you know what? You know what? I see a lot of people talking on Twitter that Michael Chandler's a cheater. So what? You know what I mean? Rules are made to be broken. Give the fight to Michael Chandler. Hopefully Chandler elbows Patty Pimblett in the back of the fucking head or on the spinal cord, you know? If the referee doesn't stop it, referee doesn't see it, it is legal. This is a combat sport. Do not watch the sport if you are literally a fucking toddler. Moving on, boys. We got Michael Chandler KO TKO. Listen, main event. I hate to say it. I think Volk's going back to sleep. I think Volk's going back to sleep. Volk's coming off of 2 KO losses, fighting for a title, never been done before. Diego Lopez is so much younger. He's taller. I mean, taller doesn't really mean anything to Volk because Volk fought Max, and Max was always taller than him, and he beat the dog shit out of Volk dog shit out of Max 1,000 times. The jiu-jitsu aspect doesn't really matter here because Volk's better than Diego on the ground, just ground and pound. And obviously, if Islam couldn't submit Volkanovski, I promise you Diego Lopez is not going to. But the issue and why I'm picking Diego Lopez to win is because Volk has PTSD from getting knocked out. He admitted it when he fought Tuporia. He admitted that's why he wasn't that active in throwing strikes and why he was looking like a little out of place there. It's because he was out of place. He just got knocked down. He didn't want it to happen again. And guess what? Well, what happens when you second guess yourself? Boom. You get hit. And that's what happened. And he went down. And I think the exact same thing is going to happen to him here. And I hate to say it, but this is more than likely going to be a Volk's retirement fight. I really hate to say it, but this is more than likely going to be Volk's retirement fight. For real. Diego Lopez is more than likely going to put my boy Volky out. And if he does, I will be back on the channel if that does happen. If it does happen, it will be very sad vibes. But if it doesn't happen, we will be on here on that Saturday night, probably 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, whenever my post-fight drops. Definitely always late at night. Drunk as hell. We will be drunk as hell. I promise you guys a super drunk post-fight speech if Volk wins. I don't think he's going to win. I'm going to pick against him because I need some money. We're picking against Volky. We're going to go with Diego Lopez. More than likely knockout. We're going to probably say first or second round. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But to be fair, listen, if it gets out of that second round, if Volk survives 10 minutes with Diego Lopez, which is doable, Volk more than likely will win because he has experience being in 5-round fights. He understands how to take things to the ground, how to stretch himself out, how to survive, you know? But you can't understand how to survive if you're just getting fucking slept. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I do think that Volk has PTSD. We're going to go with Diego Lopez. Anyways, boys, I had to make it quick for you guys. There's no need for an hour breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's no need for an hour and a half breakdown, boys. Not sending no shots to anybody. I'm just saying. Some of these dudes when they drop like predictions like Lucas Tracy or Guru, I have to like triple speed that. Bro, I don't have the time to watch an hour and 20-minute video about the fight. Like, you know what I mean? There's AI for that shit. Like, I don't, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, cool. Anything over that, I'm kind of like, watch this channel just be 2 hour long breakdowns, 2 hour long breakdowns. No. I'm just saying, just a thought. Anyways, boys, I hope you guys have a good one. Hopefully Volk does this thing, but I am extremely doubting that. Peace out, boys.